Make sure you have completed the retrieval practice on Microsoft Forms before watching the rest of this video. The link to this is found under the retrieval practice section of this assignment on Microsoft Teams. As you watch this video, it's really important that you make notes on any new information. This could be in the form of bullet points or a mind map. This lesson looks at the UK's physical landscapes, and you are going to be able to explain the impact of ice on the UK in order to explain the distribution of glaciated upland and lowland landscapes within the UK. The success criteria in order to do this is to describe what ice used to cover the UK, explain how ice impacted on the UK landscape, and explain the distribution of upland and lowland landscapes in the UK. Many of the UK's physical landscapes are actually glaciated landscapes. This means that an ice sheet used to cover the landscape and has altered its shape and landforms to the ones we see today. Over the past 2.6 million years, otherwise called the Quaternary Period, we have had periods of times where the ice has advanced from the poles to cover new areas, such as the UK, and this is shown in the map on the screen. These are called glacial periods and last for about 100,000 years. We currently live in an interglacial period, which lasts for about 10,000 years. This map shows the area covered by ice in the UK over 11,000 years ago. We call this the last glacial maximum, as this is the last time ice covered this extent of the UK. Ice has great strength and can alter landscapes, create dramatic mountain scenery through two processes of erosion. Erosion is the breakdown and movement of rock by forces of nature, the sea, rivers, and in this case, ice sheets and glaciers. When ice moves over the land, like it did 11,000 years ago in the UK, it erodes the land beneath it in two ways. The first is plucking. This is when rocks underneath the ice freeze into the glacial ice sheet. As the ice moves, the rock is therefore torn out of the ground and taken away by the ice. The other type is abrasion. This is when rocks being carried at the bottom of the glacier and ice sheet are forced to scrape across the land below, which can make it deeper over time. In the UK, where there might have been slight valleys caused by rivers, the ice deepened these through erosion to form the steep side slopes of our mountain ranges today. In the UK, ice has created the most spectacular mountain landscapes such as the Cairngorms in Scotland and Snowdonia in North Wales, both of which were sculpted by the action of ice upon the land. Any mountain landscape created by ice is termed a glaciated upland landscape. Flatter land with low relief that has not been altered by ice is referred to as a lowland landscape. The map on the screen shows the UK's glaciated upland landscapes, and these are in orange. Any areas not in orange are referred to as lowland landscapes. In an exam, you will be expected to describe the distribution of upland, lowland and glaciated landscapes within the UK. We are going to learn a method of how to describe this by looking at the distribution of glaciated upland landscapes and lowland landscapes in Northern Europe, and this is shown on the map on the screen. As with all maps, we use the trend, example, anomaly method, otherwise known as the T method, to describe distribution. In this case, trend refers to describing using compass directions and the names of countries where you are most likely to find glaciated upland landscapes and lowland landscapes in Northern Europe. We are looking at the UK, but this is the example of Northern Europe. So you could write that in general, glaciated upland landscapes tend to be in the northwest of Northern Europe, in countries such as Iceland, Norway, Sweden and the UK. In comparison, lowland landscapes are found in the southeast of Northern Europe, in countries such as Estonia, Latvia and Belarus. With the T method, you are expected to give an example. In this case, you could name an example of a glaciated upland landscape and describe how it fits into the trend. So these are the areas in orange. For instance, in particular, the Scandinavian mountains are an example of glaciated upland landscape, and they are found in Norway and Sweden. We can also look for anomalies. So anomalies are data that don't fit the general trend. So in this case, any glaciated upland landscapes or lowland landscapes that don't fit the pattern. Not every map has an anomaly, but but this one does. So the Ore Mountains are an example of glaciated upland landscape anomalies, as it is located in the south in comparison to all the other glaciated upland landscapes in Northern Europe. Exit this video now and complete the Word document found under the output section of this assignment called Student Activity, the UK's Physical Landscapes.